For most people, sharks are the stuff of nightmares, and for decades, they've been cast as the undisputed rulers of the ocean. But what if we've been wrong all along? Deep beneath the waves, there's a predator so clever that even the ocean's most feared hunter wants nothing to do with it. This is the untold story of sharks and their greatest rival. The great white shark is a creature perfected by 16 million years of evolution. Females, the larger of the species, can reach lengths of over 20 feet and weigh more than 4,000 pounds. This is a torpedo of muscle and cartilage, built for one thing: power. That power begins with its engine, a tail that can propel it in short bursts up to 35 miles per hour. But the real business end is the jaw. A great white's mouth is lined with around 300 serrated triangular teeth, arranged in multiple rows. If one tooth breaks, another simply rotates forward to take its place. And the force behind them is staggering. Computer models estimate that a bite force of the large great white can be up to 4,000 pounds per square inch. They don't just bite, they use a powerful head-shaking motion to slice and rip away flesh. For centuries, this raw power has earned the great white its title, apex predator. At the very top of the food chain, its role is vital. By hunting seals, sea lions, and even small whales, it keeps populations in check, maintaining the delicate balance of the entire ocean ecosystem. In the world's oceans, for a very long time, nothing has challenged the shark's strength. But if the shark is the ocean's perfect weapon, the orca is its perfect mind. Behind this eye lies the second largest brain of any animal on Earth, weighing up to 15 pounds. Its surface is more folded than a human brain, and it's wired for memory and emotion. Unlike the solitary great white, an orca is never alone. They spend their lives in pods, tight-knit, multi-generational families led by an experienced matriarch. And the glue that holds these families together is communication. Each pod has its own dialect, a set of calls passed down from mother to calf. To an insider, it would sound like a foreign language. But this shared language allows them to plan, teach, and coordinate with military precision. That culture shows most clearly in how they hunt. Some pods teach their young to lunge onto the beaches to snatch seals. Others create waves to knock prey from its ice floes. In Norway, they herd herring into tight clusters and take turns stunning them with whip-like tail strikes. In Antarctica, they've mastered a technique so advanced it has a name: wave washing. Working together, they generate a surge strong enough to wash a seal from its ice raft and into the waiting jaws of the pod. A culture of hunting, carried out by collective intelligence. They can solve problems, recognize themselves in mirrors, and even invent new ways to hunt. For centuries, sharks and orcas have lived as much in our imagination as in the oceans themselves. The stories we tell about them often reveal more about our fears and fascinations than about the animals themselves. Sharks, for example, carry one of the worst reputations in nature. The turning point came in 1975 when the movie Jaws hit theaters. Overnight, the shark became a symbol of mindless violence, a perfect villain lurking just below the surface. Never mind. The reality is, most sharks want nothing to do with humans. In fact, the odds of being killed by a shark are lower than being struck by lightning. Yet that image of a soulless predator has stuck, shaping public fear for generations. Orcas, on the other hand, earned their own dark title long before Hollywood. Early sailors called them killer whales, terrified of their size and power. But the name was actually shorthand for whale killer, a nod to their ability to hunt down much larger whales. While orcas are apex predators, they are also highly social, cooperative, and rarely a threat to humans. In fact, there has never been a documented fatal attack on a human by a wild orca. So what happens when the ocean's most intelligent hunter and its most fearsome brawler finally meet? For decades, it was a question scientists could only theorize about. A heavyweight title fight that never seemed to happen. For instance, in 2017, off the coast of South Africa, known as the world capital of the great white shark, two male orcas, port and starboard, arrived on the shark's home turf. What they did next was not a battle. It was a masterclass in strategy. Working together, the orcas would isolate a great white, sometimes as large as 16 feet long. Using their speed and power, they would slam into the shark's side and with a flick of their head, flip the great hunter onto its back. And this is where the shark's own biology betrays it. It's a neurological shutdown switch called tonic immobility. When a shark is turned upside down, it enters a trance-like state of paralysis. It's helpless. What the orcas did then revealed a terrifying level of intelligence. They didn't just eat the shark, they performed surgery. Carcasses of great whites began washing ashore with a single, precise cut. The orcas had expertly removed just one organ, the liver. Rich in oil and fat, it's the most nutritious part of the shark. They were discarding the rest of the body like a wrapper. But the ultimate proof of dominance isn't just in the kill, it's in the fear. For years, scientists tagged and tracked great whites around the Farallon Islands of California. The sharks would gather here every year to hunt seals. It was their kingdom. But researchers noticed a startling pattern. The moment a pod of orcas entered the hunting ground, sometimes just passing through, the sharks would vanish. Every single one. Within hours, the ultimate predators would flee the area and wouldn't return for the rest of the season. The kings were abdicating their throne, not because of a fight, but at the mere presence of the true rulers. What makes orcas the true rulers of the ocean isn't just their size or strength, it's their intelligence, their adaptability, and the way they live together. So, in the ocean's hierarchy, sharks are the muscle thugs without tactics. But orcas are the generals. They win not just with power, but with planning. When we compare the ocean's two great hunters, the shark and the orca, their records reveal two profoundly different stories. First, the shark. Its menu is written in millions of years of instinct. It's a specialist in high-energy meals. A hunter of the powerful and the fat rich. Its primary targets are seals and sea lions. Their blubber provides the fuel this massive predator needs to survive, but its diet is broad, including dolphins, sea turtles, large fish, and even the occasional seabird snatched from the surface. The great white is the enforcer of the coastal ecosystem. An orca's choice of prey isn't random. It's carefully learned and passed down. Different pods specialize in different foods. In the Pacific Northwest, for example, they hunt almost exclusively Chinook salmon, selecting them with precision. In the Antarctic, its seals skillfully wash from the ice floes. Other pods have learned to hunt the calves of the largest animal on Earth, the blue whale. But the most telling victim on the orca's list is the great white shark itself. What about us? When we enter their world, what does the record say? For the shark, the story is written in our deepest fears. Each year around the globe, there are roughly 80 unprovoked encounters. The number of deaths is far smaller, averaging just a handful annually. Scientists believe these are not malicious attacks, but tragic cases of mistaken identity, a surfer on a board looking perilously like a seal from below. For the orca, the record is almost unbelievable. In all of recorded history, there has never been a single confirmed human death from an attack by an orca in the wild. Despite their immense power, wild orcas seem to recognize humans as something other than prey. But there is a dark and tragic chapter to the orca's story. In captivity, the record is shattered, confined to small tanks, subjected to the stress of an unnatural life. These intelligent beings have been involved in dozens of aggressive incidents, including 4 human deaths. It's a brutal reminder that while one is a predator, the other is a prisoner. And it's only when the ocean's greatest mind is caged that it becomes a true danger to us. That leaves one question: what are we going to do about it? If this changed the way you see the deep, subscribe now so you don't miss what's coming next. And tell us in the comments what's scarier to you, sharks or orcas? And hit like if you're ready for more hidden truths of the ocean. Because while the sea belongs to orcas, the future of it still belongs to us.